Smart cheating with AI is no longer just a concept. It's becoming a reality with a tool called Cluey. This AI-powered assistant provides real-time, undetectable answers that could fundamentally change how people approach critical moments like job interviews or professional certification exams or high-stakes sales calls. So Cluey operates as a discrete in-browser tool that analyzes both audio and screen content to deliver instant, context-aware responses. And from my perspective, while this technology does show impressive innovation, it also raises significant ethical concerns. Cluey directly challenges the traditional methods by which organizations actually assess skills, knowledge, and integrity. And so if undetected, it could undermine the fairness of interviews and exams, putting honest candidates at a disadvantage and forcing companies to rethink how they verify talent and authenticity in professional settings. Welcome to Plevo Deep Dive. I'm Caleb Friesen, your host, and today we're going to be putting Cluey to the test to see if it lives up to the hype in its promo video. We'll walk through a real demo, explore potential use cases, and look at how this tool might actually help businesses or even create new problems along the way. So first, let's take a look at what Cluey can really do. Now, before we watch this, there's a couple of things to note here. First of all, Cluey was launched on April 21st, 2025, so it's been around for quite some time now at this point. Many people have spoken out against it, and once you see what it does, you'll understand why it has become such a controversial tool.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, how old did you say you were?
I'm 30 years old.
Your profile says you worked at Bananazon?
Okay, so just a little bit of context here. The Bananazon pun is a playful mix of banana and Amazon, and this actually refers to a real incident involving Roy Lee, the founder of Cluey. So he created this AI tool called Interview Coder and used it to cheat in a coding interview with Amazon while he was still a student at Columbia University. He secretly recorded the session while the AI provided real-time, undetectable answers, and then he posted that video online, and of course he faced major backlash. Columbia University suspended him, and Amazon was criticized for not catching the cheating, which raised questions about the strength of their hiring process. So the pun plays on the absurdity of the situation with Banana and also calls out Amazon directly, underscoring the ethical concerns sparked by Cluey's misuse.
Yeah, I've been there for the past 8 years doing like senior software engineering, so like coding.
Really?
Look, I know I look a little young for my age, but I promise you, I'm 30 years old.
Okay, well, maybe you are just way older than you look.
I saw on your profile that you're like into art.
Yeah, I've been really into illustration design lately. I didn't expect you to be an art guy. Oh man.
Here's your glass of rosé. And
Thank you.
Sorry, we couldn't verify your ID.
Oh,
so
what?
Here's a grape juice for you.
Oh, wait, I'm pretty sure there's a mistake.
I think you're way too young for me, so I'm gonna have to go.
Wait. Okay, look, listen, I know I lied about my age, I'm sorry, but the second I saw your profile and I saw the painting with the tulips, you're just like the most gorgeous girl ever, and you're such an unbelievably talented artist. Do you think you can just give me like one chance to show you I can make this work?
Can you give me some time to think about it? Are you free sometime next week?
Ooh, actually, next week I have this anime convention I gotta go to with my boys. Do you think you could do like next month, maybe?
Oh my god.
Okay, so the video didn't exactly end on a high note, but it clearly showed how the tool was used. And in this case, he referenced her artwork. He used it as a way to compliment her by using the tool in real time. While this might not be the best example of how the tool could be used, it does highlight its potential. So now we actually wanted to see if Cluey actually lives up to what it promises in this promo video. So we ran a demo during an interview with a potential hire. So I'm going to show you a part of the interview where I focused more on the tool than the actual person that I was interviewing, which made me lose focus on the conversation. That it just made me rely on Cluey even more and created a frustrating cycle.
But then I realized this is actually not what I'm going for. I'm going for like a more fictional aspect of it. So this can be interpreted in various ways. One person might think that way, but if you interpret it in a different way, it's it could just work out in another way. So yeah, That's what that was the biggest criticism that I faced. I thought I would have to like change everything about the book, but then I just read up a bit more, and then honestly anything can happen in fiction. Like this is realism incorporated into fiction, but it's fiction after all. Like anything could happen in it.
I just wanted to know too, how do you decide which story elements need to feel real? Or maybe a better way of asking this is like, how do you make the things that you're writing feel believable? Like, is there a technique that you use in order to achieve that? Or are you just sort of crossing your fingers and hoping that it comes across as believable to the reader? So you can tell, right? It was very distracting for me because the questions that Cluey generated were often off topic, probably because I didn't set a clear system prompt. Instead of relevant questions, it pushed strange questions that didn't really fit the interview very well. So to get anything useful, I had to use shortcuts and manually type more specific prompts like you saw in the clip. And this gave me some control, but it made it obvious to the other person that I wasn't fully engaged because I was busy typing those prompts. And so they could see me typing and looking away, which felt really awkward. So there were some uncomfortable pauses while waiting for Cluey to generate responses. Sometimes I found myself reading unfinished answers just to avoid the silence. I would just read them out loud. And contrary to the promo video that we saw, Cluey does not proactively guide the conversation. I had to keep prompting it to get any help. And when idle, it was basically useless. It wasn't doing anything, which makes the whole thing feel very misleading. If Cluey worked as promised by offering real-time support, then that would be great. But right now it just feels clunky and distracting, especially in important calls like interviews where the awkwardness really stands out. It just wasn't as compelling as I thought it would be because it often left me feeling like I was actually in less control than normal. I think the promo video oversells what the product can actually do, and honestly, I think it's just not ready yet. It's not quite there yet. So here's what they claim it can do. They've given us an idea of how it works here. Cluey helps with anything it can see or hear. We've already seen how it works in the video though. This is what the interface looks like and how it functions in real-time scenarios. Here you can see they're highlighting the Answers Anything feature, which shows an AI response explaining what appears to be the projectile motion with a shortcut key to trigger assistance. They claim it answers anything, but in reality, the user still has to prompt it, right? It's not actually generating real-time answers on its own. That said, let's take a look at what they're saying about the use cases here. So they claim here that it listens to conversations during meetings and provides live, context-aware responses to questions, but that wasn't really our experience, my experience during testing. It did generate responses, but they were not particularly helpful for the scenario we were focused on, which was an interview. Here's another use case. Cluey supports sales calls by providing real-time answers to objections and product questions. Now, I don't doubt that capability, but I'm not sure it delivers the exact answers without being prompted. And then finally, here we have another use case in solo deep work. So here it's showing a Google Docs interface on the left where Cluey answers a biology question about photosynthesis. And I'm sure even in this case, the tool isn't providing real-time assistance without being prompted to do so. So now that we've seen its use cases and potential capabilities, let's take a look at their pricing structure. So they do have 3 tiers available. The free tier offers 5 pro responses per day, unlimited access to free models, a 100 character output limit, the ability to see your screen and hear your audio, along with community support. And then the pro tier starts at $20 per month. That's the one that I was using, which would be reasonable if Cluey performed as shown in the promo video, happening in real time without being prompted, right? But here it includes unlimited access to the platform, unlimited pro responses, full access to the conversations dashboard, and priority support. And then finally, there's the enterprise tier, which is custom built for teams. Pricing for this tier is not listed since it's tailored to each team. But one thing to note here is that you do need to download Cluey to run it on your system. And they've also put up a manifesto here. This still feels quite surface level. It comes across more like a manifesto promoting cheating rather than actually solving the problems through this cheating or this experience that they're providing. They need to find more effective ways, in my opinion, to deliver on the promises that they're making here. While it's clear that AI is becoming deeply integrated into how we work and learn, Cluey still has a long way to go. The tool is exciting and has real potential to boost productivity, but it also raises important questions, of course, about authenticity and fairness. And so for business owners, tools like Cluey could be incredibly helpful. They streamline operations, provide real-time insights, and automate complex tasks like market research or client follow-ups. But how do you protect yourself from the downsides, right? For example, if you're conducting a hiring interview, what happens if the candidate is secretly using a tool like Cluey? What if they're not answering based on their own knowledge, but reading an AI-generated suggestion in real time? Well, that's what makes this tool a little bit concerning. As a business owner myself, actually, you want to be making hiring decisions based on candidates' actual skill and character, not on how well they can hide an AI assistant during a call. And so the unfortunate truth here is that right now, there's really no reliable way to tell if someone is using Cluey or a similar tool during an interview. That's the whole point. But that only becomes a concern if Cluey actually delivers on its claims, right? Otherwise, it's just too easy to tell when somebody is prompting the tool to get better answers. Now, speaking from personal experience, I've hired people in the past, and now that I know about this tool, I wonder if in the future I'll just be speaking to candidates in person, opting for that IRL experience, because if I'm doing it virtually, I'm going to be wondering if it's a real candidate or if I'm unknowingly just interviewing Cluey, right? How can I trust that what I'm hearing is authentic and not just AI-fed answers? I think you can try to ask deeper, unscripted questions or get candidates to explain their thought process on the spot, maybe explain their real life experiences. That might stump Cluey, I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, if someone is using a tool like Cluey well, then it becomes really hard to tell. And I think that that's why it's such a controversial tool, right? It changes the game in ways that people are still trying to fully understand. But what do you think about Cluey and its impact on ethics in work and education? Have you had a chance to try it for yourself? I'd love it if you could share your thoughts in the comments down below. And also, if you found this video helpful, do give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.